family. It appears that we have somebody that again wants to chime in on reparations and tell Black Americans what we're owed and what we're not owed and what we're due. And what's amazing is it's literally Black America's struggle and fighting for rights that allows people like this to even be in this country. And it's amazing. This is how they show their gratitude. But it says a lot about the content of character and the way that they come over here and what they want to align themselves with also shows their content of character. But let's hear this guy and hear what he has to say.
Hey, Black people, y'all didn't build America.
We did.
And you're entitled to no reparations.
Wrong.
Picking cotton for a couple hundred years does not mean you built the nation. Do you know?
It's not picking cotton. It's building. See, this is why these people shouldn't be speaking. So first, Black Americans were the stock market. Black Americans built America's wealth. Black America's free labor is exactly how America became the world power it is today. That's American history. Have you learned anything about the Louisiana Purchase? Now, I'm sure they probably told you that, oh, well, this was good for America. What America did was bought out France in slavery. So all they did was buy slaves. If that's not computing to you. What they did by buying this portion of America from France. Also, it wasn't just, and this is where they lie to you in school, and they tell you, oh, it was just the land. No, they also purchased the labor of these slaves. So the free labor. And that is when America really got on. So obviously your understanding of history in America is very, very off. And you're probably listening to the Charlie Kirkers, Nick Fuentes, a lot of the dumbasses that don't have any research based on anything they say. They use bogus stats from their own, like 4chan. The stats they come out with are not right. And so then when the FBI stats and the government stats come out, then you'll have like pages like X taking videos down. That's already happened. Let's hear more of this guy.
What percentage of white people back in the slave trade actually had slaves?
Doesn't matter. Because the most important thing, and this brother's going to give a response to it, but I would like to give my own. Because all of white America was complicit in the slave trade. So these people come here and start talking all out their ass, all out of turn, and talking mad disrespectful. So remember this, when you come to us for a coalition, we owe you nothing. But what you do owe to us and our forefathers here in America is gratitude and respect and honor. But I guess when you come from a dirtbag culture, you don't know what honor actually means. Let's hear what this brother's response is.
Anybody got the number to ICE? I need the number to ICE.
I know that's right.
We might have to build that wall taller, nigga.
Yes, sir.
Call me.
For real, though. For real. And now going from the obvious immigrant position, which is clearly uninformed. However, these devils posing as Christians, but they're deceivers. So that's why I call them devils. I do not call them devils based on having white skin. I call them devils based on the content of character that they are presenting and have presented in a very dishonest fashion. So what you're about to hear these two devils do is run off a bunch of lies to you, which clearly can't be true or substantiated. But I guess this is the audience that they cater to. And so if you don't fact check your people that you're listening to, then you might just be getting led and fed a load of BS from people like this.
The actual number of blacks who are committing murder is more than
whites.
And
Right.
whites are
That's insane. And there's nowhere, you can't find state data that proves that. Not even here in Oregon. No. That is idiotic to say. That's why the whole topic of per capita is a thing. But now he's just going to go, no, whites ain't committing murders. You're the leading statistical cat in every category, man. So this is denial on 1,000, and these guys have a real big denial issue. But let's hear some more.
Significantly greater, 60% compared to 13% of
percentage of the population. Yeah.
So if you take that, then you took a law like Deuteronomy 21, which is a just law that God enacted through Moses. The law was that if you had a rebellious son, you have a child they're coming up into their manhood and they're rebellious. They don't listen. He lists some characteristics and even though they're disciplined, they will not turn. He says the fathers to bring them out into the town square. This is a rebellious son. And then they stone him to death. They kill him.
So he's advocating for the stoning of black youth. Based on what? Oh, Deuteronomy. Really? So you want to go to the biblical law? Well, let's look at one of the commandments. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, which you just did against the entire group. And then some sweeping, vague generalization of saying, hey, stone black youth because they're just out of control. You actually have to locate a criminal or crime for that. Right now, your president, Donald Trump, is trying to spend $8 to $10 billion to come police white people here in Portland, Oregon, who are standing outside of the ICE facility. And then they're paying whoever to go be agitators. And of course, there's always the right-wing douchebags that go out there and then it doesn't work out for them and then they play victim. Just like the guy that got, he knocked somebody out. So he knocked the protester out, got arrested, and the protesters tore up his car. That's why you don't take your ass down to a protest if you don't want the consequence of a protest. I'm so sick of these people going around events and they're like, why am I being affected by the event? Keep your bitch ass home. But you want to go out and be part, then be part and shut up. Well, see, they keep coming out here, man, let's get justice for... You guys scream to be so freaking tough, and then somebody gives you a hangnail. You're on the news weeping and crying about it. And let's manufacture some footage like they're doing right now in Portland, Oregon. Now, there's one more clip of these guys that I want to play because I want to really harp on that, and then we're going to get out of here. Hold on. You know, it's so funny how, especially white people who are like third something, fourth generation immigrants, they have this idea that black people, well, if it wasn't for slavery, you know, you benefited from slavery and you're now in America. This is a country that slaves built. And no lie that you want to tell yourself because you have to cope with your insecurity of natural inferiority, because you got to build a civilization to be able to say that. And you can't. All right. Okay. Now, hopefully that's fixed. I mean, I'm not even in StreamYard. That's just ridiculous. So anyway, these type of people that want to talk about how number one, you can't define what our reparations is. That's not your place. And here's my big issue with these type of douchebags. Why are you spending so much time talking about our culture? You're not from it. You're not of it. You're not experienced from it. All you are is a sideline sitting bitch ass talking about black America as if you have some accomplishments. You're not a Christian. You're a piece of crap. And what you are is a devil worshiper. You're more of a Satanist because you guys are into self-worship. And always remember this with you guys talking about what somebody else should be. You should remember that the Most High hates a prideful look, and you are the most arrogant, prideful, lying people ever. You throw rocks and hide your hands. You kill millions and call yourself righteous. Let's hear this devil, shall we?
If slavery never happened, then you would be in a grass hut. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Right. Well, we need reparations. Your reparations are that you get to live in America. You're welcome. You're welcome.
You get to have the Christian religion.
That's
live
right.
better than your ancestors
The
ever would
greatest
have.
moment.
What the hell are you talking about? Live better than our ancestors? Your ancestors were eating each other and eating with the same utensils as they would clean their behinds with. Their hands. Not bathing. All of this comes from black folks giving it to. And are they under the impression that white inventors created all of these things that they use in America? Are they under that impression? Do they know where they would be without black people in America? These people are delusional. But see, delusion can also be dangerous. And so we have to respect the fact that people like this are so severely delusional that they also can be severely dangerous. So what I want to know about these guys call themselves preachers and Christians or whatnot. Where is the ecumenical sector to call these guys out? Where are they at? Let's hear some more of this lying.
In history for any brown or black country is the moment that the white man's ships arrive on your shore.
Let me tell you about what black people suffered through.
Now, this guy is going to give a response to that demon, and I'm going to go ahead and just let him roll because he lays it out pretty eloquently, so let's get it.
After those white men's ship arrived on their shores, they got hundreds of years of enslavement, oppression, abuse, torture, murder, rape. Not only did black former slaves get nothing after emancipation, President Andrew Johnson, a white Southerner, he made certain that white enslavers were made whole. Reparations.
Let me also make something clear. He did this right after Lincoln was assassinated and he was installed. And so he gives the slave owners reparations. Nobody here in America was bucking about that. There's no history of white America saying that's wrong and we're standing up against that, is there? Yeah, again, thanks.
But not for former slaves. Reparations for rich white slave owners.
That's a fact.
After the Civil War, blacks were kept poor, systematically poor, and with almost zero ability to grow wealth. Thousands of black prisoners were leased by southern states to former white enslavers in what were called convict leases. Where blacks, again, worked for free while white men made themselves rich again from their labor and upon their broken backs. There were also sharecropping, which grossly exploited black work ethic while allowing the former enslavers to maintain their power and to continue to grow their wealth.
See, they were never diminished throughout all the devilry that they had did all of those years. So this is a blatant wrong, and it's never been corrected. How do you go now and say, I want to talk against this group of people to whom everybody has benefited from? Because there would be no America to come and enjoy without slavery making it so. So to turn around and act like black people should be grateful to white people, boy, that is some serious drug you have to be on. And that's the drug of delusion and white supremacy. It's so centered in darkness that you can't even begin to approach the truth. And simple facts, not hard to find facts, can debunk all of what these weirdos are saying. Simple research. See, that's letting you know they're lying on purpose, because they're not dummies. They're getting out here lying to their people on purpose. Here we go, some more.
White wealth. Again, ultimately passing that on to future generations of their white descendants. Of course, during this time, there were also Jim Crow laws in place all over the South, which made it illegal for Black Americans to occupy the same spaces as whites.
Yes, indeed.
Hospitals and bathrooms, private buildings, elevators, phone booths, restaurants, water fountains. Everything that was white, which was everything, was off limits for Black Americans.
Indeed.
Black Americans. Jim Crow laws also intended to force Black people into indentured servitude, to limit their voice in the political system by stripping away their constitutional rights to vote, and to control where they live. It was the American...
That's a lot done to one group of people by the American government. And that's a lot done that's never been rectified, for people to come and tell us that nothing should be there in place to fix it, also to make sure that exploitation never happens again. Where is the reconciliation and truth there? We're not seeing it. And this white man seems to know history very well. Why didn't those so-called Christians know? They don't know the history of Christianity and how much blood-soaked soil there is around this planet because of it? That's just supremacy. You cannot keep hiding. The Most High ain't hiding you. He's not covering you. You are exposed before the world. We are looking at you as the wicked, and your counterparts that operate their dark money behind the scenes. They're very openly, obviously clear too. There's no more hidden stories now. The only hidden thing now is maybe learning the specific names of certain people. But right now, you know the groups that they're part of. Anyway, let's keep going.
Legal system explicitly designed for oppressing them. You know this though, Joel, right?
Right.
So tell me, Joel Webbin, your goofy little sidekick maybe, or anybody else for that matter. Black people should be thankful? Thankful? America wasn't a different nation back then. In so many ways, we are the same country,
Facts.
making the same mistakes, abusing the same peoples, reinforcing those same old traumas.
And that's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. And so I just wanted to come here and chime in on these videos, because everybody got an opinion about what we're talking about, and these are literally our communal issues, and they're inserting themselves into this conversation. Why? That's a group of people, and those are individuals who want to make sure that Black America is in a position of exploitation and oppression. They do not want to see Black Americans succeed. That's why they're talking about us. Outside of what see, if you're not talking about crime, they're worried about reparations. Why would that be a concern to anybody else outside of us? You're not losing anything from the government. The government spends billions and trillions wherever they please. So what's the difference now? And I guess a lot of people have to come to terms with their own inner racism. And they're going to have to address that part. But it ain't for us to teach you, because you can't come around us and debate, because there is no debate. The history is clear. And if you don't have enough righteousness in yourself to say that these people deserve what they're owed, because here's the thing, people like to come by and like the first guy likes to diminish. You guys didn't build anything. Wrong. Washington, D.C. is completely built by slaves. Georgetown, Columbia, and all of these universities out there, Harvard, they're built by slaves. Ivy League schools built by slaves, and also to the misconception of why HBCUs were created. HBCUs were created for black people to go learn how to be workers. Now they're indoctrination farms and also tether hubs for more of that agenda of undermining black America. And there's other groups with black faces that will gladly join in and participate. One big one that you could always call on right now would be Candace Owens. Candace Owens went to Howard, just like Kamala Harris, and then she sued for discrimination as well. So there's also these different attributes of in time and history that we have seen what we have seen. And I think to this regard now, we don't need no outside opinions on inside business. Reparations is black family business. If you ain't part of that, why are you talking about it? Because you're not the United States government. So this conversation is not for white society anyway. It doesn't make sense that you would be discussing it. Discuss your affairs in your community and how your community can succeed in your community and as your community with yours. And what you can do when it comes down to ours is stay the hell up out of it. Get tired of hearing you people talk about our business. Talk about your own. Or do you not have enough of your own to be entertaining? So coming out talking about black people like you've been around black folks, you won't stand in black folks' face and say the shit you say. Most of you are cowards. Most of you are idiots. And a lot of you, well, I don't mean to say, wait, no. All of you are liars. There's not one of you that can tell the truth. Not one. All of you are liars. So with that being said, family, let me know what you think about this. And for you watching this, premiering, make sure you double back and hit that comment section. Like this video, share this out on your social media. Subscribe if you have not already done so. Hit that notification bell, hit that word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video was uploaded. And of course, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. And all the other information will be in the description. Again, this is the independent black voice. I am beatzillapdxofficial. And so with that, y'all stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Have a blessed one.